Connected.
Did I miss anybody else on the list?
Rice.bean entered channel.
What did they go? Oh, thank you.
I don't know, just take them. It's cool.
Appreciate it.
We're starting on trash. Come on in, guys.
What was that, Savage?
Bilbo should be here in a second.
Cool.
Bilbo Baggies entered channel.
Yo.
Hey.
Hey, man.
Sorry I'm late.
I've already docked you DKP.
It's alright, dude. I got tons of that shit.
Except I forgot how to say DKP.
Well, I got fucking DKP out the asshole. I show up all the time.
Okay, well, I think I was expecting empty, but nobody's heard from
Extreme
him.
entered channel.
I saw him on earlier, maybe an hour ago, and he said, well, boys in guild, but I didn't see anything after that.
Maybe say something in guild chat, because I think he was on an alt for a little while. I mean...
Hey, Savage, are you here?
Yeah, I'm back.
In your weak card, by any chance, do you have a macro or whatever for whisper? Because I keep whispering you. Are you getting those whispers?
Yeah, I see your whisper.
Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, I just sat down.
But how is that happening? Why am I whispering you? Did you on the weak aura? Is that on?
It's always on.
Yeah, that doesn't answer my question. Why am I whispering you? Fury Warriors rule Savage Nation.
Oh, you see, that's
Automatically.
okay. So here, you'll have to go in your settings and change that. I had it on raid chat, and people were getting tired of seeing it all the time because it was too often, which I didn't. It wasn't my intention, and so I changed it to whisper.
Hey, Curb. I'm gonna grab you in here and drag you through this. If empty does show up, we may swap you out. But I'd kind of like to start on time regardless, so come on in. Did you need a summon, or are you right there?
I'm
right there.
Okay. I'd rather start on time and get our pulls in and, you know, run the risk of being a little light on gear than just sitting around doing nothing. Making everybody, like, talk to my demons. They're awfully boring.
Many deals for a friend of the Grumbles.
So since I imported my rage bar to you, you have my settings saved. That's why you're seeing it.
Okay,
So you gave him weak auras? Your weak aura?
Yeah, but there's an automatic whisper for some reason. Like every time we get in a fight.
When you actually learn how to like change settings and control weak auras is one of the strongest add-ons in the game.
Yeah, I've heard.
All right, so highlight your go to W.
Sorry to interrupt, but let's get this moving. We'll do the weak auras and whatever outside of raid time, if you don't mind, guys.
No problem.
Jumbo, could you do your gate? Cool. Oh, let me get something up here.
Thank you, sir.
So Curb or anybody else unfamiliar with this on Mythic?
Yeah, just me, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. I'll just put up some marks and then I'll do a quick explanation. Okay, for you melee puke, I got you a green mark over there. And I don't know.
Where?
That's bright enough for you. But, I'll double up. You got an orange-green mark for your melee.
I picked up a spare if anybody doesn't get one.
All right. Range starts on blue. Melee is going to be on the orange-green. So when we get the big green circles, you want to stack up nice and tight on that point. If you decide to spread around, that's going to be a little bit longer for somebody else to have to run out of your circle. If you're stacked up nice and tight, any circles that land in melee or ranged will be just exactly around that point, so you won't have to run as far. If you give me a moment, I'll set up groups for soaking assignments.
Was a cauldron dropped or?
Yeah, did you miss it?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't paying attention.
Who's that?
I got my own flash, so.
Who's that? I'll give you one.
It's Angel, but I'm fine.
Nah, come on, I got it. I picked up two. I'll give you one.
Stay prepared, so it don't matter.
I'm in the same boat with you, brother.
Thanks, though.
Okay.
No sense in you not getting one and everybody else gets two. $500 gold is 500 gold.
So basically I've got all the melee are in groups 1 and 2, all ranged, and most of the healers in groups 3 and 4. So group 1, plus, let's say, extreme, you're pretty mobile. Let's add you to group 1. That makes 3. This is 4. Okay. We'll call that close enough. So group 1 plus extreme will be covering the zone to the left in the melee range for soaks. The rest of group 2 will be covering the right side in melee range for the soak.
Just to be clear, because it happened, has been happening to us on melee. If we get 2 circles on the left side, both groups need to move, and
you're going to have to. Yeah, you're going to have to. You're just going to have to make the adjustment. It's RNG. If all of the circles end up one side, then you're just going to have to ignore your assignments and try to get the coverage. Particularly in the last phase, we're going to have to double up.
Yeah, and let's not forget that the more people soak him, the less damage each one of the soakers get.
Right. So, before the last phase, let's go ahead and double up on those just to save the healer mana. Curve, those are the smaller circles people are going to get in to soak. The big green circles, we're all going to run out of.
Okay, small soak, big run.
Yep, when we get the cannons up, we're killing the right cannon first. That's going to cause the big circles to stun. Which it's just going to be a real simple dance that we're doing. It's going to be start on your marks. We don't know which special is going to happen first. So on the pole and after the cannons, you don't know which special. DBM just says it's a special. So you start on your mark. If it's the big circles, you wait for the stun, then you run out and get to your zone coverage so that you can be right there for when the soaks happen. Don't wait for the other guy to soak. Let's just get these mechanics right. When you're done soaking, then you immediately go back to your mark because the next thing that's coming up is the big circles. It just alternates. It's real simple. After you kill a cannon, you guys saw it's a lot of freaking damage. If you're still working on gear and your health pool isn't like 6 million or something yet, and you get to like the middle of this big green circle, you're going to take a really huge hit. You want to get all the way back to where that green pool is. You can't actually be in the green pool. If you haven't seen it, it'll kill you. But get all the way back there and jam up against the wall. If you're that far away when the boss starts the pull, it's going to be a lot easier to run against the pull. If you're back where the blue marker is or something like that, that's why we've got a Warlock portal set up that'll take you all the way back there. Questions?
Can you repeat the groups and the quadrants we're covering again, please?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
Yeah, so it's just going to be odds to the left, evens to the right. So group 1 is covering melee to the left. I'm adding extreme to that group. Group 2 on the right. 3 left, 4 right. I've got 2 healers in group 3. So group 4, keep an eye out in case you need to help cover on that side. Anything else? So let's go. We're checking for the go. Evils. Evil.
She just clicked no.
Nope, she's here. Hold it. She probably fell asleep during my long speed.
5, 4,
Pre-pod.
3, 2, 1.
Do not run decimations out. You're dropping them on the mark. Spread to cover your zone. Back to your mark.
Oh, weird. That's what I missed.
You don't have to be very far outside the big green circles. You just have to be outside of them. You're still going to get raid-wide damage, so healers you're going to have to cover. Back to your mark. Back to your ready for transition.
Remember to start moving at 10% out melee.
Get out of there. And back on your mark. Now hold on to this res for a little while. Move to your spots. Continue to double soak. Back to your marks.
Oh.
Get them up quick.
That was a one-shot.
Ready on saves. Healers, you got a cooldown rotation?
Not a sign.
Dude.
So I see a lot of people standing around half. Move to your spot. Double up if you can. Back to your bar. There you go, move it. Careful with that last lane. Just jam up against that little corner in the wall. Alright, we're back. Oh, what happened? Did we get a lane in there?
No, looks like just died to damage from it.
Oh, okay.
We're all in that little corner then.
Yeah, I guess we just didn't have enough heals to cover, so looking a little wipish.
Remember, you're getting knocked back towards.
One person.
Bye-bye.
Clear voice, please. One person stands in. I know we're wiping. I just want to throw it out there while we're doing it. One person stands in. Another person stands next to it. One person takes the punt. The other one steps in after.
Yeah, and remember, you're gonna get knocked back towards the.
So healing team, Where are we at with the rotation? Are we not getting enough coverage on this damage? Do we need a 5th healer?
A 5th healer would make this a whole lot easier since this ain't really a DPS race.
Okay, so is that really where we're screwed? Is we just
yeah,
I didn't assign enough heals?
Yeah, we're all doing great fucking numbers. It's just there's a shitload of damage coming out.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Let's see, where are we at for options? Let's see, Sulfate. You got a healer tune that you can run? I know you don't heal on this one, but maybe you're a druid? Cool. And so let's see, curves at about 5.3. Where's rice and beans? Rice, are you there?
I already sent him a res, he did not take it.
Did too.
Okay. See a channel? It looks like it's a channel.
Food going down.
You got a closet?
Yeah.
Food is out.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't realize we were doing Mythic tonight. If you need to replace me at all, feel free. You know, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm just going with with what we got.
Click.
There was potentially a couple of other guys that we could put in, if they were here, but. And at the moment, as it was pointed out, it's not a DPS thing really at the moment.
Yeah, and when he's doing the thing where he's pulling us towards him, that's when you need to be using like your lock candy and any other personals that you have, because when he's pulling us, we don't have time to stop and heal you.
And also, don't forget that on the second phase, you're gonna get knocked back on the annihilations. I don't know how to say it in English. Someone jump in, like knocked out from the middle. Out.
You can aim yourself where you are in the circle. Think of it like a clock. It's just going to point you wherever the hand is pointed is where it's going to shoot you.
Thank you. You're a sweetheart.
Aww.
Rice and beans, are you there?
You just rezzed.
Oh, you're back. Okay. All right. Looking. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like. All right. So it looks like both his and Curve's health pools are about 5.3. Because they dropped sooner than everybody else, and I didn't see what happened. Was it just the AOE from the big circles?
For me, I missed a mechanic because it didn't show up on my screen when I was looking. So whenever it moved out of the way, I fucking didn't see what they were moving out of the way from. So I took the blunt hit of one of the mechanics.
Oh, you stood in a circle and you didn't see it? That's weird.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell?
I'm not sure what to do about that.
I started seeing them after that, so I don't know.
Oh, well, okay, as long as you can, yeah. It'll be kind of important that you see it.
Journey, can I add something here real quick?
Yeah.
Alright, when everybody stacks in the middle, this is for melee. When we all stack in the middle for the annihilation or decimation or whatever the fuck it is, when everybody runs out, it would make the life of the healer a whole lot easier if instead of like half of you running to the right and the other half running to the left, if everybody ran to the left.
Only problem with that is I've assigned zone coverage for the soaks. Everybody runs to the left, then the ones that are assigned to the right are going to have to run all the way over to the other side of the platform to get their coverage.
But the second part doesn't come out for 5-10 seconds after the...
True, people are trying to DPS in the meantime, though. You're saying that it would be better to get some close-in AoE heals, sort of to stack them, and then they can spread?
Yeah. Just right after that immediate damage comes out, that way I can, hit them with all my AoE heals if they're right there in front of me, instead of hitting 4 of them and then having to range shield the other 4.
Well, I mean...
That's just a suggestion. I'm not saying, oh my god, you have to fucking do it. Because we've killed them without doing that.
Right, and we did add a 5th healer. 2 of our healers are druids, so the spread heals are going to be fairly good, even if it's not going to be quite as crucial that we have everybody stacked heal.
Okay, yeah.
But
True that.
Yeah.
True that.
Okay, fair enough. Take 2. Oops. Let me put the portal up for you. Oh, are you guys even using that portal? Sorry, I forgot to ask.
Yes.
Because
I am. That's how I get back so quickly.
No, tanks. Because I think the tanks weren't using it before, right? And I was ending up putting an extra portal for the melee. Let me do that. Okay. Yeah, I hit my rune late, Akram. I got one. Thanks.
Okay, cool.
Pull it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Step. And step. Nice and tight.
What?
Ready for cannons?
Move out.
Stack. Special in 5.
Missed one.
Stack. 2 minutes and rest. A little more coverage to the left. Ranged. Yeah, I think I got clipped by a tank missile. Try to run those all the way on the edge tanks.
Shaft is down.
40 seconds. Run for it. Personals. Do we have a hero left?
I have drum.
Soak. Soak left, soak left, soak left. No. That's it. Too many dead to cover.
When the annihilation circles are too far to the left, I don't know about other melee, but I'm getting trouble getting there on time because of not every time I have a heroic leap.
Yeah, I mean, if your cooldown is down, you're just going to have to start running early.
I'll run a little farther out this, instead of what I've been running.
Okay. We have to. The only reason we're stacking on the right is because of decimation, right?
Oh shit! I just put it right on top of that other.
I just offset it to the right a little bit because the tanks have to run their missiles, and if you guys are spreading out after the decimation, I didn't see any reason to have you running straight into one of the tank missiles.
Okay. I mean, we've done this before.
So, I mean, if that's not a good spot, I can move it over a little bit.
Probably in the middle would be. I don't know how much would it help. Maybe if we move over.
The rest of the melee team feel the same?
But I'm not seeing the issue that Akram's seeing. I mean, as soon as they spawn, then I immediately turn and run over there. And by the time it hits, I'm already standing in the circle, no matter how far left it is.
Yeah, you may be relying on your jump and cooldown a little too much, Akram. You may just have to, like, hoof it a little bit.
I'll just...
I'm just trying to keep the tank area as clear as possible, and we're obviously going to have some overlap with the soakers. That's going to be an issue, for sure.
I don't think we need to change anything. I think we've done it this way.
Okay. Is everybody done eating? Because my portal goes right here in the middle. I don't want anybody jumping up to the boss. Take 3.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Enemy combatants detected.
I'm not on the edge, and one of you tanks is dropping a missile right on top of me. Is that where you're usually dropping them? Because I think I soaked on the right side before, and so this is the first time I'm seeing this problem. You've got to drop your missiles up against the edge, guys, because we don't need extra DPS dropping. It's another soaker down. I didn't realize, did we have a death before mine?
Not that I know of.
Put the soul stones down?
There's one available res.
Oh, that's weird. I mouse over mine, it shows 3 minutes. How about after these cannons are done, don't do anything while this crap is going. Get out of there quick. So you guys are... Ooh, too close. Big hits, personals. Okay, try the res now. Thank you. Actor spot. Soaks. Actor spot. Stack. Oh, I'm sorry, did we soak it? Sorry. Soaker. Run.
Get out of the middle, get out of the middle.
That was my fault. Fuck.
I lost a tank.
You've got a res coming up in a few. 3 seconds.
We need a last.
Hero. After the stun. Go ahead and hit it.
And
Soaks,
Mr. Cooldown.
one in, one out.
Melee!
Oh boy. One in, one out.
Lamb's in.
Second one in, we don't have enough.
Yeah, a lot of melee are dead. Oh man.
Stand in your decimations. Let's take this wipe and move on.
I think the melee got meleeed.
Same.
And we lost Jack Tao. Crickets. Oh, you got caught in the missiles there, Jack? Yeah, don't do that. What was the decimation?
Come here, I'm gonna run to use the bathroom real quick. I dropped the feast. I'm eating it.
Jack died next to me on the whatever it's.
Right, he was typing the green lanes. He got caught in the green lane. Well, we're still not super clean on this fight. Pushing the numbers is great, but we got to get these mechanics right. That last phase is going to be hard enough as it is. And we need some time on those doggies.
I have many lucky doos you like.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shit.
Back on your marks. So far, so good. Okay, these are empowered hits. Save some cooldowns for them. Soaks. Hang it back on your mark.
Tank down.
Targeting mark.
Not enough people are soaking the left annihilations on the melee.
Try to double up on it, guys. 1 minute to the next res. "13 seconds on res. After this special, we'll hero. Okay, give me a res on Zyrams, please. Hero now, ready on soak. Every soak gets a double.
Savage
One in, one standing by. One in, one standing by. We need a couple more on the left side. Stack on your spots. Ah, we can't do anything about it for 4 minutes. I'm not calling the wipe, just see how far we can coast.
Savage is going in. Get out, Bilbo. Thank you. Alright, I'm dead.
Alright, finish it up. Let's see, Jack looks like the last one was Fell Bombardment. Is that the missiles you're dodging, or? Okay, that's not his eradication thing then, okay.
Nearly deals for a friend of the Grummles.
Okay, well, Sneaky, maybe you can help us out. Jack's having a little issue. We get the left side fairly crowded, so first of all, now that I'm actually soaking on the left side for the first time, for those of us that are soaking on the left side, you get over here, you do your soak. Now, some of the times these things are like right where the tanks need to go. Everybody that's run this fight knows this. You get your soak, you don't stand here in DPS, right? Everybody on the DPS team understand that?
Yes.
As soon as the bomb hits from your soak, you get your ass back over to your mark, and then you can continue DPSing. That way you keep that lane clear just as long as possible. You don't just hang out over there and then figure that you're not going to kill your tank. Because he's trying to dodge those things, which are going to one-shot him. And he's also trying not to kill us, right? So I was standing over there one time, and I got nailed by one of those, and I spoke up about it, and he's like, well, where am I supposed to go? So we need to leave him a lane so that they've got a place to go. You guys soaking on the right side, you don't have that problem unless we got a lot of RNG spots to soak ending up on the left. Then you're going to have to help out over there. Everybody needs to be aware to clear that place out as soon as possible.
Can I get some lock cookies?
Yeah. Yeah, that's simple triage. Tank stays up before the DPS does. Okay, did anything else come up I'm forgetting? Or we get back to it? Yeah, 2 more. We're at least getting back into that last phase, which is a plus. But I'm dying to get back on those doggies, guys. Come on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Don't run out.
And stop. And stop. And stop. Going down quick. It's run it, run it. Give me Resin 7. Bigger hits. Stack. How are we doing, tanks? Are we leaving these lanes clear enough for you? And stack. Next set of cannons is coming up. Watch that lane, watch that lane.
Yeah, I got stuck in the corner.
Wait for the special. Okay. One in, one standing by. Hero now, please. Hero now. Stop. One in, one out.
Savage in.
Comes in.
Orcrum will take next one.
Stack up. Stack.
Oh, fuck. My fault.
Commanding shout.
One in, one standing by.
I need someone standing by on mine.
Stack, stack. Resin Jack. Kill the boss, don't so. I called it a little late, but it was awfully close.
Yeah, if we didn't kill her, we would have wiped.
We didn't have enough for the soak anyway.
I'll keep their forces occupied.
But, yeah, good.
Our forces are moving towards Legion High Command. Buy us all the time you can, Aurelia.
Congrats on the legendary. If it's good.
It's not.
Alright, then, well, sorry.
We'll give you haste gems, bro.
You only have 4 DPS on the trash guys, come on.
Marie, if you cut him one, I'll give you one after the great break.
Mm-hmm. You need to do that.
Nobody wants that 960 chest I'm putting out? That just makes me better at it.
What was the haste gem for?
Rice and beans.
Rice and beans open trade with lamb. Really?
Bilbo did not step on that place. Oh, look at that. Never mind. Stepping on all the patches.
I hate you.
You guys are really fixated on those patches, aren't you?
Come on, heal me, please.
Remove these abominations from the battle.
I'm reporting you.
I'm reporting you for reporting him.
I'm reporting you for reporting him for reporting the other guy.
I don't think you can keep this going for long.
You wanna bet?
You're not my buddy, pal.
I'm reporting you for the lack of faith in your team,
Not
Tony.
your buddy, guy.
I'm not your guy,
guy.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
Not your buddy, pal.
I'm not your pal, friend.
That's all I got.
What movie is that quote?
It is a South Park joke. All the Canadians.
Yeah.
We're pulling?
I just saw for the first time that episode with the member buried. It's because he likes me to drop a fresh piece.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Climbing up all the way back here.
Check your flasks, people.
Do you want to set up those marks, Sneaky? I think you had a nice double line going last time. We had a good idea of the 40-yard distance for moving both doggies.
Okay, so we're gonna start over here. This is where the food's gonna be dropped. Move.
I'm dropping it now, Marie.
Okay.
Alright, so Curb and anybody that's forgetting the mechanics or hasn't seen them, you're going to get a debuff on the pull. You probably should have seen it when he did the fake pull just now. 2 purple diamonds means you stand on the ass of the purple doggy. 2 red X's means you stand on the fire doggy. You're going to get a damage reduction to that damage type. But if you get the opposite damage type, which the bosses will toss out periodically, you're going to get an extra mechanic. On the Shadow Dog side, you're still going to have to run your flames out. So you stack for the circle soaks and everything, but you're still going to have to run your flames out, and you're going to start yanking people around, and it'll be a little inconvenient. But that's about it. Once the flame mechanics are done on that side, you can stack up on the dog again. The tank on that dog is going to be watching the fire dog, who's going to have to move. So the shadow dog's going to have to move up kind of in parallel with the fire guy. We're trying to keep just over 40-yard range. We're looking to overlap the heels and multi-dot as much as possible. If one of the dogs lags behind or something like that, and we're looking like 80-yard, 100-yard range or something, you just don't get the overlap. Sometimes the big hit mechanics can be a little overwhelming. So let's get that overlap, because we're going to need the extra cooldowns and things like that. We don't want to lose a tank, halfway through just because we didn't keep the distance right. Fireside is just a little bit trickier. The whole raid is going to have to move, or that whole side of the raid. So it's going to start over on orange. You're going to get your fire debuffs, and you'll get a damage reduction to that. On that side, if you get a shadow damage, it's going to start dropping big old fire patches. And you can't stand in them. It's a lot of damage, which means you have to move your dog up, leaving enough room behind the dog for the raid to follow behind without them also standing in the fire patches. You want everybody on that side to be moving as a unit, like stacked on top of each other, dropping your fire patches like right up against that wall. You're simply looking to conserve the amount of space that you got. So if some of you guys like to hang it over here because, hey, you're cool, and obviously you want to multi-dot, and you got to overlap your heels and things like that. Now you have a patch over here, and then you've got patches going from here to the wall, and then by the time we get to the end and we start circling back around to this side, now we've got these big blocks in our way, and it just runs us out of space, makes it that much more difficult for the tanks to keep the distance that they need to keep. Questions?
On the previous pools on the last 2 weeks on the Fire Dog, I don't know if it's just my perception, but I think it helped a lot as melee DPS to hog the wall and just leave the fire puddles on the closest to the wall as possible.
Right. I may have said something about that. But yes, right up against the wall. Just jam them up there. Just like any other circle mechanic in any other raid fight that you've been in, if it's jammed up against the wall, now it's half a circle. If you're leaving it out in the middle, you've got the diameter of the full circle taking up space. So yes, jam that sucker up against the wall. Everybody stacks tight on top of each other, moves at the same time. You get the positioning right, you get the movement right, you get the kill. It's pretty much that simple in this fight. The damage can, ramp up a little bit as soon as you start making mistakes. Everybody keeps their mechanics right. I think the healers will be able to handle it. Did you mention that to Sneaky, Jack? I think you might be right. What's that yellow one? What's that yellow marker for? Well, so if I'm gonna go, let's say I'm kiting the purple doggy. I get him to green, right? Now I'm running him over to yellow, I guess because the wall curves to the right a lot. And then I'm gonna curve from yellow over to skull. You see what he did there, Jack? It's not a straight line, it's just that the wall on that side curves over, so it's a little squiggly. No, he's whispering to me. You can put that stuff in Raid Jack, it's no big deal. That way I don't have to translate and ask the question twice. But okay, so that's cleared up. Anything else? So now, just to be clear, when you're coming back this way with the fire dog, you're hugging the opposite wall, or you're coming down the middle? Okay, so you're standing on that wall, and you're basically coming down next to wherever the fires were dropped on that side. Okay. Just shove over a little bit. Pun intended. Healing team, you guys can help out with this a little bit by calling distance, because your heals, for the most part, are going to be exactly 40-yard range. You want to be able to tap people on that side, including the other tank. So if you adjust slightly, just a couple steps one way or the other, I can heal him, now he's out of range, you'll know pretty much exactly where that range is. If they get inside of 40 yards, the tanks are going to die. They're going to take way too much damage. So if you see that happening, call it. Obviously, the debuff on the tank will show it pretty quickly, too. Sure they go. Hold it. At the halfway point, the tanks will taunt. The raid does not move.
2, 1.
What are we hearing? Just by the way.
Now, do your hero now, please. Yeah, don't move them. Just wait for the.
Melee, hug the wall. Melee, hug the wall, guys. Not stand on the other side.
Move, Jack.
I'm speaking about fire mode.
And again?
Fire
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of the fire team is on the left side of the dog, as opposed to dropping the fires up against the wall, which is where we were talking about. You guys all have me on mute, right? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, people aren't stuck in on the siphon on Red Dog either.
Yeah, when we're dropping the fires, they got to be dropped, like, you know, right on that spot. Think about it. You're gonna
For a friend of the Grumbles.
you're gonna ignore the directions because, you know, obviously, you know, you don't care about the strat or, you know, worried about the strat. You drop yours where you want to. If you take a step forward before the next guy, you just dropped a fire in front of the guy that's going to have to follow after you. Just keep in mind, you know, the reason why we're organized the way we are. If everybody moves together, all of the fires get dropped on that one spot. Nobody gets blocked off. Nobody has to run around a circle to avoid damage. All of that stuff.
Oh, wait, where are you going?
And again, if you're hanging out on the left side of the dog, because like me, you want to get multi-dotting, healers want to get that healing overlap. I totally get that. But while we're moving, dropping shit, try to drop it up against that wall. Correct. And also, no moving until the fire starts getting dropped. You want to start your positions of the dogs, purple and orange, just cram those suckers back there as far as you can, and you don't move until you have to. Bullet.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, they're set. Hero now. Resident Evil. I will get the res out. Let it dead. Go ahead and reset. As hilarious and fun as this is. Okay. I'm assuming it's the flame side that's getting decimated first. That's usually the trickiest part of this fight from what I've seen. Well, I mean, rice and beans, you've seen this fight. I don't know how you mark somebody to stack when you don't know who's going to be on that side on the pole, right?
Left.
Yeah, I mean, we can do extra marks and stuff, but I mean, I think everybody knows where they're supposed to be standing. It's just a question if they're going to do it or not.
So back left leg on shadow and back right leg on fire.
I mean, you know, if you want to get like a little bit more creative with the overlap because you want a multi-dot and you want to get the overlap heals, the only crucial time is when the fire is dropping. When the fire is dropping, you are jammed up against the wall on the dog's ass. Simple as that. Fire drops, dog moves, you move, fire drops, and so on. And you try to get the movement limited to just the width of the circle so that you don't have to pull them all the way from orange to moon. Completely not necessary. You want, from orange, you want little stutter steps so that you can drop fire as you go. If that makes any sense. Once the fire is done doing its thing, then you can lean over left a little bit and get that overlap that you want. But while you're dropping that fire, you got to get that right.
Is there a feast down?
I can drop another one.
Everybody's clicked in, so let's pull. Come on, guys, we're all boring the shit out of Extreme over here. Rogue's falling asleep, man. We need to get him like some caffeine or something.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go in here. You don't have to move for that one. Go back to orange. Go back to orange. Now you're going to have to move. Okay. And move. And stop. Get away from that sphere.
Everyone stands in the sphere.
We kind of didn't have any room from the back of the boss's boat. I ended up running ahead of the boss. I don't have range on Lamb Chop. Can somebody get her? Okay, start moving. Moving jacked. Oh, finish the reset if you can reset them. We might save 1 or 2 people. That was a pretty full wipe there. A lot of you aren't going to agree with me, but there were a few things about that pull that were a lot cleaner than the first time.
I mean,
A lot
yeah,
cleaner.
you're right.
A lot cleaner. What we're looking at that became a problem that we lost a lot of people. So fire drops move up, fire drops move up. That was a little better. We can still clean it up, but that was a little better. When the consuming sphere comes out, it leaves a big swirly purple circle by the fire doggy where it's going to end up. And if you're there when it ends up there, you're fucked. So for that, we should probably move the fire dog like one more length up, because otherwise the rest of that side has fire at their back, and if they move forward into a cleave. No? Right, so when it arrives at its spot, we just don't want to be there, right? Which means we need to have room to move. So the fire guys are going to have big patches of fire at their back where they just moved up from, and you don't want to be moving in front of the dog, so you don't want that cleave. So at that point, once the circle, once the location of the consuming sphere is shown, you just move the doggy up a little bit, give people some breathing room. And in fact, at that point, just keep in mind, now that I think about it, it's not even dropping fire patches. So we can even spread around to the sides of the dog, not necessarily move the dog, as long as the tank itself is not in the consuming sphere when it is. And the more we can conserve our real estate. Did everybody eat?
Aha, my neuralizer stopped your choo-choo train.
That was my wind-up train wrecker, actually.
I mean, you know, people are dropping choo-choo trains, our rogues are falling asleep. We're not losing focus here, are we, guys? Want to kill some doggies. Okay, pull it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And here.
I had aggro.
Fire dog is starting to move. Oh, sorry. Reset him. I tanked for 2 milliseconds. You're welcome. Those of you who escaped.
Nobody.
Okay, Jack, you dropped and took a dirt nap real quick. What happened there? Healers, did you see what killed him, or?
I can look at the death log.
No cooldown for the swipe. What else could it be?
It was probably Molten Touch, wasn't it?
That's just got to be a cooldown thing, right? Were they too close together? I don't know.
They were. The red one did get big.
Okay. All right, let's get back to it. Well, if that's the case, do you guys have a druthers as to who gets what first? You're going to switch 50% either way, so you have to both be able to do both.
All right.
Okay. Let's just continue.
Why are there people not running back with the rest of us?
Because Bilbo and Zyrams are lazy slackers?
Oh, fuckers.
I don't know, that's just a working theory.
Probably they went to the bathroom again.
Hey, no random AFKs, guys. We're going to have 1 or 2 more pulls, and then we're taking our halfway break. Unless you got emergency or something and the doctor's note and, you know, signed by the president.
Signed by the president.
I was in the kitchen getting a drink so I could see some more.
I haven't had a president since Reagan was alive.
Stay with me, guys. Just give me another pull or 2. And we'll call the break.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good here. Don't have to move them. Okay, move up. And again. Just don't be there when it hits.
You gotta move them out, right? Yeah, I noticed that after I said it. Sorry. That often happens. Yeah.
Move 5. Go ahead and reset them.
Huge.
Go ahead and reset. If there's anybody left.
Guys, when you get inflamed, you need to get like really, really far away from everyone because you pull the nearest person to you, next to you.
On the shadow side, correct. Alright, let's get back in. Let's do one more pull and then we'll break.
Yeah, I get gripped like, I mean, I got inflamed, so I run like to the wall, and when I came back, I got gripped twice, and that got me like down to 20%.
What causes the grip?
The inflamed.
It's an extra mechanic on the shadow side.
Ah, okay.
The extra mechanic on the fire side is dropping the flame patches.
So pretty much, when you get inflamed on the shadow side, get as far as possible from the raid and from everyone.
Do you happen to know, have you checked the tooltip, what's the range of it?
It's like 10, 12 yards, something like that.
I don't know about that.
It seemed like it'd be a little further, even, like 20.
It was pretty far.
It's supposed to be.
I got pulled to Okram, and I was standing near where the purple boss is right now. He's standing on this purple diamond.
I mean, the general recommendations that I've seen is, fuck it. You don't worry about it. You're going to get checked around. It's annoying for a little while, but then it's done and you get back to business. It's It's not a one-shot. It doesn't like leave anything on the ground. There's no permanent debuffs, so more of what I've seen is it's just sort of an inconvenience, no?
It doesn't seem to be doing too much damage to me. As long as you don't those spirals though. If you stand those fucking spirals.
Now for sure you don't want to stand on top of people with it. So when you get pulled in, you move apart right away.
It's like a 2 million damage. So I got it and I got away, and then when I came back, I got it again because someone wasn't spread out. So I got in flame, I got 4 million damage. So I think it's pretty considerable.
I think that just happens to everybody.
It pretty much does, from what I understand.
I mean, it looks like
we
it
have a feast?
I got the feast.
You, sir?
Well, I don't believe you unless I see it.
Motherfucker, I show you all the time.
What's the show me state? Which one is that? Is that Wisconsin? No.
Definitely not Illinois. Unless you want to see a shit show.
For some reason, I want to say it's somewhere like Idaho, or it's somewhere central, like maybe Nebraska.
I was thinking California, you know.
5, 4,
show me.
3, 2, 1.
Here. Gotta move Shadow to go with. Try to get those fire lanes away from it. Try to aim them back at the wall. Sending a res.
He's casting.
Yeah, we're almost the raid's dead. There's like 5 people. You can reset it if you want. I didn't really call it because we're about to break anyway. Feel free to go ahead if you want to, save a little repair money or whatever. Well, the last time I was on the fire side, the consuming sphere came out, and we weren't dropping fires at that time, right? So, if
So,
you mean if you're standing in it? So it hits the raid whether you're getting hit by it or not. Then in that case, you're right. Then right. So I misunderstood that part. Then they were like following my recommendation, and I was the one that basically screwed them up. So basically, what it means is you're going to see that big purple swirly on the ground, and you're going to have to go like a full doggy length to be able to get the whole group behind the dog ahead of where that sphere is going to hit, and keep them stacked. It's either that or they spread to the four winds, which you don't want.
During the part with the big purple orb, we're also getting inflamed on us, which is part of the reason why we're not stacking, because you just have people exploding for 2 million damage constantly.
On the purple dog?
Yeah, no, on the fire dog.
Well, see, I'm not so sure the inflamed is the problem on the fire dog, because you have a big damage reduction to fire when you're on the fire dog. Can't you just stack those inflamed?
I don't know.
Anyone who's done it? Hell no, says Extreme. Okay. So you're going to have to spread the inflamed even on the fire dog? Okay.
Can you start a break timer?
Starting it now. Alright, I'll be back. Oh man, that's good. Back in your seats. Let's go. Let's go. Form up. Let's go, you dead guys. Sneaky, are you there? How about you, Jack? So, I was wondering, I think you were on the Shadow Doggy that time, or were you on fire? Shadow. So, I think we were talking about the dog was probably just standing there casting, and fire moved up, but the Shadow Dog wouldn't move because he was casting or something, was that right? Okay. And that was the consuming sphere he was casting? And that's what made him sit there? Is there a way to... Okay. I'm just trying to keep us evened up a little bit. Is there a way to anticipate the timer on that so that you're moving your Shadow Doggy up, you know the consuming sphere is coming up, and you know that the Fire Doggy is basically going to get ahead of you? Is there a way...
We identified an area crucial to getting...
I understand that. That's not what I was going to ask. What I was going to ask is, so knowing that the consuming sphere is coming up, and knowing that the Fire Guy is going to get ahead of you, can we anticipate that and maybe move the Shadow Dog a little further up first? Like even ahead of the Fire Dog, so that by the time that hits, they're relatively even?
And destroy their stockpile.
Is there any way to time that?
Can we do something more interesting this time?
I mean, you know, as long as we don't get them too close within 40 yards and get that nasty buff, or debuff. Alright, anyway, we all back? Let's get back to it. Feast. Thank you. Yeah, it doesn't have to be all the way to the next marker. I'm just trying to figure out a way to keep us a little bit more even, because we were, I don't know what, 60, 80 yards at that point. So we didn't have any overlap. Is this for the pulp? Okay, whenever you're ready, Slim.
Comida.
Por favor. Puto.
Oh, what's that mean?
Food, please. Comida is food.
What is Favor?
Por favor.
Spelled right? Is that the way you spell it?
Por favor is please. Yeah, I probably spelled it wrong. Yeah, por favor.
There we go. That looks more like me. My extensive knowledge of Spanish. Are we good? Pull when you're ready.
Five, four, three, two, one.
The hell?
Whoa.
Hello?
Are you sure that's not supposed to happen? Risen self.
My death was my own fucking stupid fault. I tunneled.
I think I got stuck on a rock.
I have nothing to blame but myself and my own idiocracy.
Idiocracy? Stack on the purples. Spread those flames that way. Better if they go all the way to the wall. Reset, reset. Probably could have called that a little sooner, but I just looked up and saw the dead people. Plus, you know, I had to pull ahead on the meters first.
Should we release?
Either way. Pretty short run. Check your class and stuff, everybody. Bilbo, you corpse. What's going on? Okay, let's float up and go. Let's get rolling, guys. There's time in between pulls.
I had a long run back from my release, so.
Bésame culo.
Are you saying your run back was longer than the other person's run back?
I released a little late, I wasn't sure what I should have done.
You're good? Okay, pull it.
Well, Newt Savage, I knew you were a weirdo.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I forgot to eat. wasn't my intention, but I'm not gonna...
That's totally not a word, dude. Move them up a little more. And move them up a full length for the sphere. We can't stand in that sphere. We can't stand there.
Why do I have the boss?
Okay, so when that on the fire boss, when DPS gets those spirals, they gotta move. That boss has to move faster and longer distance. You got to. Well, then you're gonna have melee on both sides of that boss and in front of the boss to avoid taking damage. No, because I was in front of the boss when that happened. Also, otherwise I would have taken the damage and died that way.
Okay, man, up.
I'm not getting snippy, I'm just saying.
Tell me right.
Yeah, everybody's take it and reset if you want. So we need to fix that overlapping mechanic. Both dogs stop and cast when the consuming sphere comes up. Is that what you're saying? Right, but the point being that they're both casting at the same time, so neither one will move?
Right. Gotta be active.
Which means, so we need to move the fire dog before the swirly happens, or shortly after the swirly happens? Right. Here's what I'm trying to fix, if I can explain this right. Purple dog casts consuming sphere. Purple swirly shows up right behind the fire doggy. We can't stand in that purple swirly because when the consuming sphere hits, we'll be in its radius. That's a one-shot, which means we have to move somewhere. We can't move backwards because there's fire right behind us. We either move in front of the fire dog and drop fire in front of him, drop fire over on the sides. We can't go back behind. We can't stand where we are because the swirly is, the sphere is going to hit us there. I understand what we're doing. Okay. Is there room in that corner, or is that sphere overlapping that spot? Because I think that's where people are running all over the place because they're not sure exactly, they just don't want to be in that spot when it hits, because they know it's a one-shot. So people start running all over. We just need to be sure where there's a clear spot at all.
If we want to be safe, can you possibly aim the fire boss like slightly out so that people can feel safer about running into the corner?
The swirly from the consuming sphere is pointed at the fire dog, is that right? Oh, so if the person who's in fire is already shoved up against the wall, then the wall isn't going to be a safe spot. Alright, I'm just trying to get my head around this. It always ended up on the fire dog, so I was thinking that that's where it was targeted. If it's targeted on one of us, let's say the whole fire group takes a couple of steps back, like around the edge of the fire that we just came over, so that the consuming sphere is behind us, then we just step back up to where the dog is at that point.
Hey Marie, you got a quick gem on you?
Did I just blow your mind?
Yeah, but I only have one.
I promise to give it back at the end of the raid. Thank you, honey.
Did you hear what I was asking, Sneaky? No, I realize that, but if we start moving up in front of the fire dog like this, then we're dropping fire in front of where you need to go. I'm just thinking of, you know, let's say we're here by the time consuming sphere is about to come up. This part of the raid now just sort of goes to here to drop the consuming sphere, like on the whatever on the edge of wherever that fire is. Purple swirly's there. Now we go back to here. That consuming sphere is behind us. We just completely ignore that mechanic. I mean, we just sidestep it. What's the luck component? Oh, I was kind of going off of that. So now we're not sure? Okay, well, I guess if nobody knows, then I know some of our guys have done this fight. Extreme, Zyrms, Rice and Beans. Any of you guys want to weigh in on this? Do you know how the consuming sphere is targeted? Because we're just kind of running all over the place at this point. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe we're just getting too fancy. Let's just get back into it and see what our learning curve does.
Well, Rice and Beans is saying the Shadow Dog never moves. I like that idea.
No, that's absolutely true.
Then let's try that, please.
Well, we're not having a problem with the Shadow Dog side dying. It's still the fire side. Okay. Cool. Well, fair enough. Let's get back into it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I just totally fucked that up. Sorry. I ran in too soon.
Jack's dead.
You have a res on Jack? Quick, or we have to reset. Move fire. Again. Too many dead. Too many dead. Go ahead and reset it. And ran to X. That's way in front of the dog, though. So you're dropping fire. Okay. Okay. I was trying to find a spot that I could get through, and it seemed like the consuming sphere was up against the wall. So I ended up on the outside again. Not really sure where I was supposed to get through that.
Are we gonna try not moving Shadow Dog, or no?
That is more of a healing team concern. Right now we're at 5. If we get the 2 strongest healers on one, and then the 3 on the other, then you've got still a reasonably good balance. But the question is, how much damage are they taking? How much do you need that overlap? If you don't have that overlap, are you screwed? Because Jack was dropping over there anyway. Was that something where we need to have the healing overlap or no?
I guess it just depends on the split.
It's not like healing people are dying. People are dying from taking damage from standing in the fire for too long or not getting out of stuff, and it's avoidable damage that's killing most people.
So the tank should never get pulled around. So at the very least, the DPS team, whoever's getting, the inflamed or whatever, and starts yanking people around, those people should be far enough away from the tank. He never gets yanked. So if he did, then clearly that side wasn't running the mechanics. There are other reasons for a tank to die that, could potentially involve the tank doing something wrong. In this case, I don't see that. The tank shouldn't get yanked around like that, I don't think, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that shouldn't be. Okay.
Can I see something on the Shadow Dog? Once the tank starts moving to the mid, it has happened like 2 or 3 times that we're in the middle of a siphon. The DPS needs to be aware of that, and if that's the case, not move. Stay, soak the siphon, and then go DPS again. This is not a DPS race. If we don't do that, we can let the siphon person die alone by himself.
That's happened to me a couple times. I ended up having to bubble through it or something.
So let's try leaving the Shadow Dog on his first mark. See how that works. You guys will have to be close enough that you can taunt swap for the transition, which means whoever ends up with fire may have to do some quick repositioning if we're approaching that 50% mark.
And Jack's got heroic leap and charge.
Yes. Keep Shadow Dog on purple. Let the Fire Dog just move all over the damn place.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Keep those inflamed away from the tank. When your debuff drops off, you can eventually go back to the group. May as well leave him where he's at instead of trying to reposition. We just lost a bunch there. Is that the molten side?
That was weird.
Okay. Yeah, we're toast, and we're still not looking at the midway transition, so I'm going to call this one a little early. Reset it. I just looked up and there was a handful of deaths and I lost track of where those all came from. The consuming sphere hadn't arrived yet, so it could have been that.
Yeah, what causes you to what causes you to teleport from one side to the other? Okay, so that's what happened. I got sucked.
Are you talking about the molten touch where it lifts you up in the air?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
That's a separate one. There's one on the shadow side where you get yanked over to like somebody else, but then there's like a. Oh, I just said the word too. Anyway, it's like a fire thing, and it lifts you up in the air, and it brings you over to the fire dog. It'll drop you into a molten pool, which you basically have to get out of right away and run back over to your side. I mean, from what I've seen, it's no more than a little annoying, but if you stand in it, I imagine you'll get clobbered.
Well, I had one go off on me as soon as it dragged me into it. I didn't even have a chance to stop.
The siphon killed me.
But I survived it, so it wasn't an issue for me. But I just want people to realize that when you say that you got a minute to move out, in my instance, it as soon as it pulled me in, it went off.
Yeah, that one that lifts you up. Thank you for. I was just looking for that. Thank you. Oh, that's the big purple circle everybody has to stand in. So you just sort of stood apart and died, was what happened over there? Or you didn't have enough people to stand in and split the damage? Alright. Yeah, just remember your personals on some of those. Go for it. Yeah, if it wasn't clear for anybody who ends up on the fire side, those lanes are pointed at one of you, so when you move, you're moving the lane. It's the same as on normal and heroic. You just want to point it, back along the wall or along the little fire blobs that you've already dropped. Just keep it the hell away from anybody else. Go ahead and pull it when you're ready.
So it's not the same for you tanks every time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Inflamed, get away from your tank. Stacked up.
Son of a bitch.
And we're toast. Reset them. Didn't see what happened over there. Can somebody tell me?
I ran out of the spirals, but for some reason I got pulled back in and I was running over them. The ones I avoided to run out initially. I've never seen that before.
Sorry, this is the fire side? You were on fire?
No, I was on the shadow.
Yeah, it was that one like ability that knocks you up into the air and then you just appear on the other side. It's
That only picks one person at a time, doesn't it? Or no?
Two. One on each side.
Yeah, I was one of them. I definitely got hit with that.
I don't have a sense for how much damage is going out for that because I usually soak with bubbles and things, and
It's avoidable damage.
It's completely avoidable. I know it drops you right into a.
Yeah, but when it drops you, you've got 3 seconds to get out before it hurts.
Okay, I don't know what to tell you guys. If you're getting nuked by that, then you're just not moving quick enough.
No, what happened to Savage was the fires were already down, and he got gripped back and continued running the way, and he ended up having to run through the circles.
I don't know. Rope leap? Hellstone?
No. I ran out away from him, and somehow I got gripped back into that center pool of the shit.
Well, when you're... Yeah, well, the somehow part I can explain, because when you're on the purple side, any fire mechanic that hits you when you're on the purple side will yank somebody else who's close to you. So you just got yanked by somebody who was taking a fire mechanic, basically. That's the how.
Alright. So... Okay.
So think about it this way: if you're low and you see the fire mechanics haven't stopped yet, and you're worried about the healers catching up, either pop your Hellstone right then, or heroic leap the hell away so you're not the closest guy. There's a strategy.
No, it's not. It wasn't even like that. See, it happened. So the long short of it is, nobody get hit by that shit. Move the hell out of it. And don't kill your teammate.
Kanan got stuck under the map. That happened to me yesterday. What is that? That happened to me yesterday. That's weird. Anyway, East is down, guys.
There's an error in your console commands.
Ready checks rolling. And, who's left? Sorry? Okay, we're good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Jumbo with the bursty warlock shit. Y'all see that? Scaring me.
I thought you were talking about my bursty clutch healing on myself, dude. Oh my god, what are these mechanics?
On those paths as far away as you can.
Alright, watch out for molten touch.
Back left.
Alright, we'll just see if this DPS evens out on the switch. Do they both have to hit it? We're out of... Okay. And reset. Reset. So the thing is, if the DPS is weighted heavily on one dog more than another, the DPS teams aren't going to move. So the purple team would get the fire team, the fire dog, for the other half of the fight. So it could potentially, even out. We get hero at the pulse, so there's that. But, I think once we get down, say, into the 25 to 15% range, we can call stops on DPS at that point. I don't know that it's necessary to call stops before 50%. Unless you guys have different experience.
Cerny, are you assuming that both bosses are supposed to be equally throughout the whole fight?
Let's make sure we're clear on this swap, because, sorry, my understanding was that when they hit 50%, then pretty much the whole raid switches debuffs. Is that not what happens, Zyrus? So that's right, isn't it, Zyrums? That's what your experience is also? So I know you've killed this thing, but... Oh, he's not saying. Okay. Yeah, my understanding is if the entire raid swaps debuffs, then you don't actually want the tanks to just swap sides because, you know, then still the rest of your team is screwed. You taunt the bosses themselves to switch sides. That was my understanding of the strat. Right. And we were really far away, so I'll have to call it sooner, or you know, anybody that's catching it before me. Basically, what we're probably looking at is it's unlikely that we're going to get a perfectly even DPS on both dogs. So given that, let's say that when we're about 5% away from the taunt, the tanks will start moving their dogs so that at least they can get within taunt range. Okay, because right now they were like, you guys were like 100 yards away, so we need to get you a little closer to the 40 mark so that you can get your taunts done. You know, then we push that last 5%, boom, you taunt, and then we go back to work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but every pull the fire boss had more health than the shadow. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And a few times that I've been on the fire side, it's been my experience is the reason why that is because when we're riding the wall, dropping off the fire, the tank and the boss is behind us, and they're either not catching up or the dog is casting or whatever reason. We end up ahead where we're out of range, melee range, and we're not able to touch those. So there's more downtime on the fire dog than the shadow dog. So that's why, from my perspective, why there's more health on the fire than the shadow.
I'm going to agree with that too. Like, there's a lot of running there, so, like, for the movement mechanics, so, like, I don't know.
Well, let's get back to it. I think we're still got a little bit of a learning curve, just sort of getting our heads around. But we're definitely approaching that transition, so I call that progress anyway. Let's get to that transition point a little bit more frequently and see if we can get the rest of the way.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Consuming. You have a res, pick one of those guys to res. On those pathways out. 58 on purple. 57. Okay, 54. 53. Okay, get ready to taunt. You're at 51 on purple. Damn, that was a long fear.
Have to do the other mechanic on fire though, guys. Hug the wall.
Move fire up.
People on fire though, you need to follow the same mechanic as the other side. Hug the wall, or the wall side. Don't spread out.
$36 on fire. Okay.
I can reach Jack, he's kind of close.
Gotta reach north. Still here.
Move him, move him.
Oh shit.
Okay, we're toast. So at that point, we had enough DPS dead that evening them out was going to be a little tricky. And, you know, we would have had to call a stop and things, but much, much better.
Where did we go wrong on that one? Just so we can avoid it.
Well, it was after the transition. So basically, I believe the Shadow team became fire and maybe had a little trouble running the fire, or was it vice versa? Because I saw a couple of deaths, saw some deaths on our side, and we didn't quite run the fire pattern very clean, but we seemed to have plenty of room to move, so I don't imagine that was a huge issue.
It was when it came to like the siphoning stuff that we stacking kind of fell apart. And so we were a little too spread out when Siphon came out, and fire got dropped everywhere, and so forth and so on.
We also have to spread for Inflamed, right? We had Inflamed on the fire side. You can't stack for that. I thought that was pretty clear, right? So we certainly couldn't stack for that part, and I don't know if that caused some problems. Well, I know what the problem was. You guys all have your cute pets out? Because if you don't have your cute pets out, that's probably where we wiped.
I brought Sasha to raid.
And apparently you have to be 8 yards away from the sphere.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like run all over the place, but 8 yards is still a pretty fair distance when you have like a handful of inflame that all have to spread out.
I thought as long as you were not in the circle, you were fine, but I found out that's not true.
I think you might be confusing the swirly that's on the ground
No,
versus...
I'm talking about the purple sphere that comes into the fire boss. You gotta be
the consuming sphere. You have to get away from that. Yes.
Yeah, you have to be. Well, you have to be 8 yards away.
15 yards away.
I think you just have to not be in the big swirl at the end.
Well,
Yes. You're going to take raid damage anyway, which doesn't appear to be.
Well, that's what I thought.
By
But I'm
range.
still dying, and so
You might have other damage.
the death log says 8 yards.
Let's go. Too much downtime.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here.
Has to be 50 yards.
Right at him.
Anybody in range can get Bilbo up?
What the fuck?
I got teleported?
Reset it. It's like half the raid now.
Don't release on this one. Do not release.
Curb stomp? I think I know what you're talking about now. Like, I was on the Shadow Dog, then I got pulled, like, closer to the Fire Dog on Molten Touch.
Yeah,
Like, it was a weird teleport.
Yeah, there's no chance to heroic leave or hit a candy to get out of it.
Bilbo, did you get that res?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, I got battle res by Carlara, and as soon as I accepted the res, it threw me up in the molten touch thing, so I couldn't get I didn't get a heal off or anything like that. And then when it dropped me, I was supposed to be on fire side, but I was on shadow side. And that's probably what did it.
No worries. Let's just get back and run with it.
Do we need food?
Move your mount. Rice and beans.
I don't think it's a mobile.
God damn, son.
Yeah, he's not in mumble. He said he didn't have any flasks though.
Yeah, let's go.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Holy crap. Sorry, where'd everybody, is this on the fire side that we all died on, or? Well, I reset it. Sorry, I was tunneling a little bit. I ended up on the fire side this time, but... What the hell? The Shadow Dog's the easy dog, right? Do you guys, let's see, what could have happened over there?
they lost me as a healer for that second because I got picked up for the molten touch or whatever, and got put on the fire side.
It's
like
not
Siphon and Molten Touch.
when people die like that on the shadow side, it's because of the fire spirals. Too many of us are standing in it and killing everybody else.
Okay, well then, I mean, I got switched to the side I haven't been on all night. So if that's happened to you and you're not sure what to do on Shadow, just, fire lands at your feet or you get the inflamed debuff, get off of it, get away from everybody. It's pretty simple. When you're on the Shadow Doggy and you get the fire path pointed at you, run your ass away from the Shadow Dog all the way over towards the orange marker to just get that flame path the hell away from everybody. Nobody's going to give a shit you lose a little bit of DPS. It's not going to matter one little bit. We're still going to have to even up at the end, so no big deal. Oh, sorry, I see some of you guys are out of range. Angel and Savage, let me know when you guys are ready. Okay, Savage, how about you?
I'm good.
Alright, roll please.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Is it safe to go in?
Start.
We're ready to move.
Damn, dead. Go ahead and reset. Okay.
That's when I said just before getting ready to move.
I mean, when I log into my tune, it even says right there, tooltip, don't stand in the fire. I'm just saying. Yeah, every time I got the inflamed on the shadow side, well, I mean, I am ranged, but so I can run a little further and not lose DPS contact, but I did. I ran my ass the hell away, just trying to make sure that I gripped as few people as possible.
So on the Shadow Dog, after the purple soaks, that's when the fire swirls come out. Get ready to move. Because if you don't, you take damage. The closest person to you, you'll get dragged in and they'll take damage as well.
Okay, we all formed up here. Sit down and eat.
That your ready check was in my way. Good.
And we are running out of time, guys. We're down to under 15 minutes. We're stopping on time. These things die or not, so let's try to clean up these mechanics. So far, I mean, we've seen everything there is to see. Let's just get this done. Savage sulfate. And Savage, you're good?
Yes.
Okay. Go for it.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's taking a little too long. Is there a free res?
Yes.
Get ready to move.
Asmelia, what would happen if I go DP as a fire dog? Don't forget to use personals. Get out, get out, get out.
%30 shot.
There's a res up.
Too close.
Still got an available res.
Trying to find range on the healer.
Healers are almost done.
Don't forget that they have to do that at the same time.
Shit, they're big. Six and 7. Yes, we can. Finish dying and we'll get in here. Yeah, I was going to grab somebody else, but I was actually full out of range, so I don't know what we had res-wise on the other side.
I got jumper cable.
We're officially at any attempt boss, guys. We can kill it tonight with a little bit of focus.
I just want to clarify when the tanks swap, we stay in this. We don't swap with them, right? We stay with the. So if we start with Shadow and the tanks swap, then towards the end we're with the fire. Okay.
Okay, Riss is going to switch for the last pull.
So next week we're gonna start a Mythic mode on Friday, right?
Correct. So I realize that some folks can't make the Thursday run, which, you know, if you're still trying to farm that last heroic piece, that'll make things a little tough for you. But I kind of want to push us more to progression direction, and we seem to have the roster for it. I mean, we've still got some undergeared folks, and, you know, we didn't have everybody here that we were expecting necessarily. But I think still overall we can get a full 20 each week, so.
So on this pull, I just want to remind everybody, after that second purple soak, get ready to move your feet to not stand in the fire swirls.
Help me someone, please. All right.
I'm
By the
moving
way,
him into
where's
group.
Sasha? Why didn't Sasha come today?
He's got family stuff. I believe there was a birthday he had to go to. I believe his dad was having a birthday. Last pull, everybody. Let's make it a kill.
Use runes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, guys. Stay the fuck out of it.
Can't get her 3 minutes. You're out of time. No rest for Jack. That's the ball game.
Well, that was definitely got it down next time. A lot of good practice on it. I learned a few things tonight.
Not terribly difficult overall, in my opinion. I think we just get that learning curve down on both sides, and I think we only had one other real night working on the puppies.